One of the biggest hurdles of your success is the endless exhaustion from hustling for clients. Tell me if this sounds familiar. You worry you'll never make it and you're super frustrated because you got the talent and the skill and the creativity, but you can't seem to get your piece of the cake because you're getting drowned by other performers that seem to have the right connections or the right clients, or for some reason they seem to have the key to the door. I'm so excited to share this with you because the strategy I'm about to share with you took one of my clients from being outrageously underpaid, hustling like a mother trucker and completely under the radar, to breaking into a new market and getting booked back to back for a year in advance for German variety contracts, and all within 4 weeks of implementing this one strategy. This strategy applies if you are well known or if you're not known yet. It also applies if you are just starting out or if you have been in the business for many years. Hi, I'm Ulrike. I'm the founder of Selling Circus, where I help circus professionals just like you to market and sell their work with a lot of skill and immense confidence. I've been working in the circus industry with all the names that you absolutely love and know for almost 2 decades now. And I've helped circus performers with over 20 different disciplines from every corner of the world, from every market and niche imaginable. And if you watch this video till the end, you'll be surprised how little of the right things you actually just have to do to get those consistent circus bookings that I know you deserve. And if you're at a place where you're trying to do this and you're a little bit stuck or frustrated or quite frankly overwhelmed with the whole damn thing, I'd love to help. There's a link below this video where you can speak with me directly. The first component of the strategy is this: the quality of your relationships equal the quality of your bookings.
Hey, quality over quantity.
In other words, the amount of relationships does not affect the quality of bookings you can generate. I mean, just ask the millions of really struggling circus performers out there. Because we are not after another gazillion shitty circus gigs that just burn you out. We are after consistent quality circus work that, one, pays well and also fulfills you creatively. Fact, recent studies show that 70% of freelancers, and that's you, are experiencing burnout due to the constant hustle for clients. And this hustle mentality might seem like it's the lifeblood, we need this to be circus artists, but, and you know that as well as I do, it's really not sustainable.
Say, you better hustle it up.
I'm talking about circus performers who are constantly chasing the next gig, neglecting their well-being and neglecting their biggest competitive advantage, which is their relationships. So it's time to shift your focus. And the simple mindset shift that you need to stop hustling once and for all is this one. It is not the sum of the bookings that create your success. It is the relationships that you own. Let me repeat this. It is not the sum of your bookings that create your success. It is the relationships that you own. If you agree, comment the word quality. Go ahead and comment now. And the second part of the strategy, the single keystroke that will literally lead to an abundance of opportunities for you, you guessed it right, is this: building trust and long-term relationships with your clients and potential clients through marketing.
That's what she said.
You heard the word marketing and you immediately broke out into hives and you're like, this makes me scared. I'm already busy enough. I don't need anything more on my plate. No, thank you, ma'am. Don't worry, you're not alone. This is something I actually talk about quite a lot in my coaching program, because the number one reason that's holding you back from marketing and selling your work professionally and skillfully is fear. It's the fear that you hear when you hear the word marketing. It sounds like you have to be fake, you have to be always on. It's like if you are good at marketing, you're dimming other people's lights, you're shouting out to your industry, I'm better than you. It's really complicated, it's time consuming, all of these things. And I get it, it's really stressful. But my theory here is they have told you it's hard and complicated because, one, they obviously don't know how to do it. And two, if they tell you it's hard and complicated, that will keep you exactly where you are, and it will also keep your competition safe and really successful. But we're not about that, so let's talk about it. The entertainment industry is estimated to be worth 2.7 trillion in 2024. And I think it's time you get a slice of that cake. So what the heck is marketing? Marketing in and of itself is simply the act of getting known. And you do marketing by communicating through content such as videos, pictures, and text. But here's the funny thing in the circus industry. I know people that are phenomenal communicators, like when we sit across the table. And then this phenomenon happens, and you might have been in the same shoes, I certainly did, that once you start to type up a message to a producer, you become this robot and this unreachable person that goes, "Dear sir and madam, please book me, please consider me for your production." And the only reason this might be happening is that you probably have this false idea of who you need to be and how you need to look like and what you need to say in order to be professional. And often this results in either not saying anything at all, meaning you don't send any of your materials out there, or you become, as I said, this like unreachable, isolated robot. And this makes it impossible to connect with the person behind the message, which is so essential for building those invaluable relationships. If you're feeling like you have to hide behind your work and you're constantly scared to piss off a producer and lose a job by just being you, I'd love to help. There is a link below this video where you can speak to me directly, because maybe selling Circus will be the best move you can do right now. Okay, here's the good news.
My God, okay, it's happening.
You have already what it takes to turn this around, to go from not knowing what to say and how to say it to really feeling confident and really aligned with what you put out there. Because wouldn't it be amazing if when you look at your content, you would actually resonate with it? I remember in the beginning of my career, I was always like, I'm so much better than the things that I see about myself out there. And I was like, of course no one books me because all of this looks really terrible. As a matter of fact, the skill I'm talking about is a skill that you have most likely been using since you were a very, very little child, and you just didn't know that you can use it for business too. Well, I got you. I'm of course talking about your wonderful imagination. And here's how you're going to use it to build those phenomenal and important relationships. Imagining something is really just pulling something into existence into your mind. It's as simple as that. You have done it many, many times before. Let me show you. Don't skip this, just play along. You're gonna get the most out of this if you play along with me, so don't skip this. First, I want you to imagine a person that you dearly, dearly love. Can you see them? Good, hold that picture. Now, I want you to imagine to tell this person something that would make them laugh out loud. Can you see it? Can you see how their face changes, how they lean into the conversation? Now I want you to tell them something that would make them feel so appreciated. Can you see it? Can you see how their body changes? Can you see how their eyes soften? Can you see how their focus changes? Yeah, good. Now I want you to say something to them that will irritate them. Can you see how their body changes? Can you see how they draw back from the conversation? Can you see how the energy changes? Nice work. So what we've just done is we set an intention of how we want the other person to feel and then acted accordingly. The next time you're going to create any piece of content, that could be an email, a social media post, anything really for your marketing materials, I want you to put an intention behind it. And this intention is how you want the person receiving, viewing, or consuming your marketing materials to feel after they have consumed it, and then create from that place. Because the reality is there is another human being on the other end. Think about it. People don't hang out on groups around the phone, right? People don't hang out in groups around someone's laptop. It's always one individual, it's one person. So if you have that in mind when you write that email, that there's a real human beings with feelings, desires, fears, frustrations on the other end, you will be able to connect on a human level with that person. And it's so much more likely that that person will actually feel like that you are on the other end instead of another robot. And another fantastic side effect of writing or creating from that place is that it's so much nicer for you to do. I remember when I started to create from that place and put a clear intention how I want the other person to feel, that I had a flow to my work. I had a flow to my creation, and I was like, oh, I don't feel so icky and sticky and awkward all the time. Now, feelings don't happen in your mind, they happen in your body. And the easiest way to write from a place of feeling is to feel the feelings yourself. I do this by just thinking about something that makes me feel the way from the place I want to write. So let's say I want to make the other person feel curious. I'm going to remember something where I felt curious and then write from that place. It's pretty straightforward. So let's say you want to make the person feel appreciated. And instead of saying something generic like, I hope this message finds you well, say, it's such a pleasure to connect with you again, Robert. Or, congratulations on your recent premiere of your new show, Dancing Squirrels, Sabrina. Or, in even more informal way, it really depends on the relationship you have with a person, you could say something like this. Hey Peter, how's it going? Or, thinking of you lately, how's it going with the new production? You notice it's like talking to a friend. And I can already hear you saying, excuse me, Ulrike, is that like really unprofessional? Shouldn't I be like really formal to look like I'm legit? And the answer is no. While of course you want to maintain some sort of boundary and you don't want to go like swearing and going all out of line, it is actually preferred from producers that you speak to them like human beings. Because have you ever received an email that's completely cold and formal? It's not very nice. And you also don't feel like you want to engage with someone writing that way, right? Because on a strategic level, what this does is it allows you to connect with the person on the other end on a human level, which then makes them way more inclined to engage with you, to engage with your content or your act or your material or whatever you send to them, and then eventually actually feel like they can trust and like you, which naturally leads to bookings. Because if you focus only on getting booked, what you're essentially doing is you're asking all the time to get something. And have you ever been in a relationship where one person is asking to get something all the time? It just doesn't work. So if you focus only on getting gigs, you miss out on building these beautiful, valuable relationships that will actually lead to the long-term success and to these consistent bookings in the long run. Because remember, it's really not the caliber of the booking that leads to your success and to these beautiful, consistent, long-term bookings, but the relationship you build with the person behind the booking. And I can actually say this from experience. One of my very first gigs in my career was with Circus, and I thought, bam, I made it. This is a high caliber booking. However, after that, freaking crickets, nothing happened. I had to literally use every marketing tool I could find to build my career from scratch because I failed to build that relationship with that company. I failed to make the most out of my time with them. And building relationships is really not about just schmoozing event planners. I think there's this really weird, false idea that we need to be someone else and we need to weirdly impress producers. But what you need to know is there are human beings. You need to connect with them on a human level because this is how they qualify if you're the right choice for them. I hear this so many times from producers when talking to them. They're like, I'm just praying that when I book a person that they're who they say they are. I'm just praying that this is not just all fake. So the more you give them of you, the more they're going to trust you and they're going to book you over everyone else because they know, I know what I'm getting. I like this person. I like everything about it. We are connected way before we actually work together. And that's going to make the working experience for you and the client of a value that other people cannot even reach. So here's an action step for you. Start small. Set aside a little bit of time each week just to connect with your colleagues, connect with some producers, connect with your audience, and all in a way without asking for work, but to add some value to their day, to their life, to their career. I can promise you this. The effort that you put into building those relationships today without immediate reward is gonna pay off in the long run. You gotta trust me on this one. To bring this point home, here's a Selling Circus pro tip for you. A single booking fills a need. A strong relationship builds a career. And if you want to supercharge this knowledge and really learn how to attract the right clients that really can generate this amazing, long and consistent quality circus work, there's a link below this video to speak with me directly. If you like this video, I want you to click the subscribe button and the notification bell. And if you're hungry for more marketing and sales tips specifically for circus performers, you gotta watch this video too.